I got broads in Atlanta. Just to lean the family. Credit cards in the scammers. Getting no licks in the.
Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Silky Mayhem, or Mayhem here, bringing to you another Black Ops 3 video. But this is not a road to prestige. Actually, this is something I like to, make as a story time. And I know I've never actually done these things, like these story time things and telling stories and stuff on my channel. This is the first one that I've ever did. Actually, what made me do this today was, I was just thinking, of new ideas as, a content creator on my own individually on how to, make better channel ideas and shit like that. And I was just thinking about stories, and I know I've had a lot of interesting stories in the past, and I know I just thought that I'd bring some to you guys, and it's actually, I've had a couple good ones and a couple weird ones as well, and I think today I'm going to start one with a really weird one. So I thought, what about a pervert moment? And I've had a couple pervert moments, like when I've done something pervy on accident, but this thing I've actually did on purpose. It was really, really, really pervy. And when I was in the 3rd grade, yes, all the way back to Lil Mayhem, myself, when I was in the 3rd grade, oh, okay, that guy's dead. When I was in the 3rd grade, I actually just moved to New York, so I was living in PA for my life, and I just moved to New York, and I was really happy, making new friends, shit like that, doing new things, doing new people things, and I moved to my first ever Catholic school, and I was really happy about it. I was so happy I was going to meet new friends and stuff like that, but that wasn't really the case because I moved into a class that was literally a class of 15 kids, so it was the smallest class of people I've ever met in my life. So these 15 people were mostly girls. There was not a lot of males in this whole 3rd grade class of mine. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to get used to these females and stuff like that. So when I was in this class of, the female genitalia, and I was in this class with these people, and I was like, oh, so what can I do to, move on the ladies? But I wasn't really worried about the ladies at that time. I was worried about, Power Rangers and shit. Usual 3rd grader stuff. So, with that being said, I was being myself, doing my thing, not really talking to people. There was a couple of guys in the class, actually, that I really associated with, and I became really close friends with them. One of them who I still talk to today. I was becoming close friends with these guys and stuff. Well, guy, there was literally me and some other kid, and then there was a bunch of girls. It was a dance class, but I was becoming really close friends with this kid. One day when we were in class, we were just messing around, doing some foolish shit, and then he knocked my pencil out of my hand. I forgot for what reason why. I think we were just play fighting, playing swords or some shit, and whatever. For whatever reason, he knocked my pencil out of my hand. So when he knocked my pencil out of my hand, I went to go grab it, and I went under the desk, my whole body. I didn't just put my hand down there. I put my whole body down there, and went under the desk. And when I went under the desk, what I saw was fuck. I just died. What I saw, I'm 3 and 7. Oh my god. What I saw was pretty interesting. So I went down and I saw vagina. For the first time ever in my life, I saw a pussy, and I was really excited. Well, I wasn't really excited. I didn't really know what was going on. This girl was not wearing underwear, and she's in the 3rd grade, and I was just looking at a premature vagina for a little while, and I was pretty amazed by this. I was oh my god, what is this? This isn't a penis. This isn't what I have. She has what I don't have. I was oh, what is this? So I looked at it, and I was actually really amused by it, and I stood there for a little while, and my friend was like, hey, Joseph, you good? You found your pencil? I don't think I smacked it that hard, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be up in a few, and I was like, oh my god. So I went and I told my friend that same day, came over after school, I think we were playing with action figures or something like that, he came over after school, and I told him, and he was like, oh, shit, yeah, dude, you don't know the vagina. I thought he was a player. He was talking about vagina like he had sex 30 times, and he was only 7 years old. So I was like, wait, how old are you? 3rd grade? Anyways, so I was like, oh, shit, you know about this? And he was like, yeah, so how'd you discover that? And he was like, oh, yeah, Sally never, I'm just saying Sally because I'm trying to cover the girl's name, don't want to be a dickhead here and give away the girl's name. So, yeah, little Sally, she never wears underwear. She's a freaky freak. whatever and whatnot. And I was like, oh, she is. So that's cool. So my first experience, I was like, oh wow, I'm new to this world. And the next day, my friend was like, yo, Joseph, and he looked at me really weird way, and then he was like this some like head shit with his head. Pause. And I went on, and he dropped his pencil, and I went under with him, and we were both looking at this girl for like a good minute. Like, we were looking at this girl for a while, and he was like, oh, like, you want to touch it or stuff like that. Like, it was just so weird. Like, now that I think about it, it was really weird. And I would go down there every day just to look at this poor girl. And then I grew up together with this kid, and I was doing this from like 3rd, 4th to 5th grade. Like, I was a little weirdo. And I remember one time in the 7th or maybe 6th grade, my friend moved to the school that I was in. Like, he moved away like in the 4th grade, and I was like doing this alone. I was a lone ranger doing some perfect shit by myself, and I wasn't really doing it with the person that I really do it with. And I was kind of upset because I'm usually doing it with my friend. So I was doing this perfect shit myself, and I was like, maybe I should just stop. And then, the moment, like, when I was thinking about stopping, my friend actually moved back. And I was, like, so happy. Like, I don't think anybody knows how happy I was that this guy moved back. And I was so happy that this guy moved back. I was like, oh, thank Jesus Christ, I have my friend back, blah, blah, blah. And we were friends. And honestly, at this point, I forgot about the whole pervert shit. But I still was, at this point, like, pretty excited that he was cool and he was back. And he was like, hey, Jay, remember in 3rd grade what we used to do? And I was like, oh, what is that? And he was like, and I was like, oh, yeah, that thing, that was funny. And at this point in the 6th grade, I'm pretty sure everybody in the 6th grade knew about vagina and watched porn at least once or twice. So, in the 6th grade, I was like, oh, yeah, it's cool, yeah, I remember that. But, yeah, man, we're older than that, we're grown-ups. I mean, as an 11-year-old in the 6th grade, I thought being in the 6th grade was being a grown-up, because that's middle school for me, junior high in New York. So I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. But, we're cool kids now. We're grown-ups. We don't need that. And he was like, dude, don't you know how babies are made? And I was like, yes. And at that moment, I was like, oh, my God. Like, babies are made through what we were looking at through the 3rd grade. And I was, like, so fucking amazed. You guys don't understand. So I was so amazed at this. And at this point, I was like, holy shit. I'm so in there. Like, I'm going to watch girls, and I'm going to, oh, my goodness. So then one day, me and my friend snuck into a girls' basketball practice, and at this point, it was, like, the 7th and 8th graders are now, like, juniors and seniors in high school, and I'm a sophomore. So we were looking at these girls, and, their 8th grade body and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, my goodness. Like, I was falling in love with these girls. And one day my friend was like, yo, instead of just looking at the practice, how about we just watch these girls get dressed? And at this point in my head, I was like, no, like, we're gonna definitely get caught. So I agree. But what standards? I know people are probably looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? No, with standards, I did agree. I agreed to doing this, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's have a little bit of fun. And I agreed to doing this stuff, and one day we went in after practice, and after the girls' practice, and we snuck in, we tried going to the locker room. He said, hold the door open. Now, I remember this like it was yesterday, clearly. I held the door open like I'm holding my PlayStation controller. I held it like this, looked straight, and I saw boobs, like 6 or 7 boobs, honestly. And most of the girls looked, but I was behind the door, like just peeking through like this, when my friend was in front. And I was looking like this, and the girl was like, and like my friend had his arm out, so he could like get through the door like really stealthy. So it looked like he was holding the door, and you couldn't really see me. And he was like, oh shit, like all the girls looked at him and covered themselves, and oh my gosh, and they called their coach right away, and the coach came and like grabbed him by the shirt. And at this point I was like, oh shit, like I hid behind the door. And the coach came and like grabbed him. Nobody really realized me. And when the coach came and like took him and turned around, I ran as fast as I can. Like I literally hit the jets. And at that point, I swore to like always respect the girl and stuff like that, and always respect the female's body. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. I thought it was like a really interesting story to share with you guys today, and I thought it was actually funny. Looking back at it now, but I obviously respect females, like that was really just disrespectful of me to do. Some shit like that was not right. So I was like, hey, you know, I mean, as a third grader to an 11-year-old, you know, it's still not the best thing to do, but it's also like you don't really know that much, you know, growing up like that, you know, from 3rd to 6th grade. But, you know, I'm stopped that now, you know, thank God, years later. But I thought it was just a little funny story to share with you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you like this video, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, do what you guys gotta do. And it's your boy Silky Mayhem or Mayhem. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.